Hello, brothers and sisters. Namaste. My topic today is about the ego, how it controls us and how it feeds the dark gods that we are serving, how it manipulates us. The ego is our main survival. This is how we survive on this planet. It's the ego that's leading us. It is our strength. We have two brain hemispheres. The left brain is our reptilian brain, and the right brain is our mammalian brain, the spiritual brain. The left brain is the ego. Why do we have two brain hemispheres? This is a very long story to talk about, but let me give some explanation on what I have learned. A long time ago, when the design of the human body, they were designed to have 12 DNAs. These 12 DNAs are contribution from all higher evolved souls that we call gods. So this pattern of 12 DNAs is the design of humanity. Earth did not exist a long time ago in this solar system. Only then at that time that Mars was in the great civilization. It was the main hub for the opposite side, like Jehovah. That's his main laboratory of creating clones to be his minions, his slaves. So there were wars in the galactic skies. Marduk, which is located between Mars and Jupiter planet, which is also called the planet Lucifer, where all the souls, this is like a continuation of my Genesis part 3, the human races of this planet, how did it all began. So you can watch that to understand this is the continuation. So when all the spirits incarnated in planet Marduk and were the draconians, were the rulers of that planet, all the souls that they didn't like, that are not their minions, are slaves. All of us were implanted with microchips. So these microchips are our handcuffs, our imprint. It's like our tattoos that you are their slaves. And these imprints of the microchip will carry over even if your body dies and your soul reincarnates. This is the imprint of your soul that when you reincarnate again, became physical, you will still become their slaves. You are their, or we are their minions. And the only way for that to dissolve the contract is to be aware and consciously on this physical form with your knowledge and being awakened that you have declared this contract null and void. I have spoke of this a few times in my videos. So that planet where all of us are microchipped, and there was no possibility for all the souls to grow, to continually grow with their evolution. And this is like a stop level for all souls to grow. So the gods, the higher evolved spirits, decided to blow up the planet, which affected Mars and killed Mars. Then, planet Earth. At that time, all the souls, the higher evolved souls that were able to go in a higher dimension, they wanted to become stars or planets, and the rest of the souls didn't want to go. So they just stayed in one place, gathered together, like big community, big family, that the Earth started to manifest. So according to their galactic record, it could be that the souls created planet Earth This Earth comes from the remnants of the planet Marduk, which is also called planet Lucifer. So, planet Earth manifested, but in a deeper understanding, the truth is, Earth decided to volunteer herself as the mother host, and Earth was created by high evolved spirits, the gods. They created the planet before Mother Earth took, took it as her own. So they created this planet Earth as an experiment, for this is like a truck stop for everyone to contribute. This is a new library where all information will be restored. So every races of the planet contributed their own species or invention, plants, animals, all kinds of insects to complete the ecosystem of the planet. There was nobody there, only the minerals, the flora, and the fauna on this planet. So before that, so where I'm at, I lost my thoughts. Back to Earth. So Earth became the planet where this soul started to reincarnate from the minerals to the flora to the fauna. Later on, the spirits recognized that they are in different forms or bodies, so they cried, and their cries were heard from the heavens. So this is when the 12 high evolved souls that we call gods contributed their DNA and designed the human pattern with 12 DNA. There were wars in the galactic skies, where planet Earth is a very good prize to conquer because of its beauty, and this is a free will planet that they had created. So all the souls that wanted to grow, continue their evolution, this was the design. It's a free will planet. This is the continuation of my Genesis part 3, where the souls, the slaves from other planets, the Orion that wanted to break away from slavery, that they created their own like portals, and then they jumped there, and then they landed on Earth, because all of the slaves were connected to hive minds, where they know all your thoughts, all their thoughts, and in order for them to break away from the thoughts, they have to break that communication, and this is how they got away, because they did not communicate directly from the hive mind. So they had their meeting like underground meetings. Now, where I'm at again. So this planet, all the souls were here. The human body was created as the generic form where everything will be accepted by that pattern, because it has 12 DNAs. The wars in space happened, and Jehovah won planet Earth. This is many years ago, not many years, millions of years ago, and take control of the planet Earth, where they had designed the human race. 2 tribes of human race were created from Mars laboratory and brought here on Earth to dig gold mine for them and become their slaves. So instead of using the 12 DNAs, they only used 2 DNAs in order for us to be enough to function and controlled. But they did not know that these 2 DNAs are quantum DNAs. This is the magic of that DNA, that in due time it will start to tick and become stronger and stronger. So the design of the 2 human DNAs, the red rays that were put in the northern Africa as their slaves, they started to revolt. And other races here that were originally slaves brought by the Orion Empire were the blacks. The blacks, again, I put it on my video Genesis Part 3 that blacks were solely created as the purpose of their as their slaves and food source. So the two tribes started to revolt. So they know that the human DNAs cannot be trusted, so they only trust their own creation with none of the manipulation or mixed with the human DNA. So this 12 strand, the box or the pattern of this 12, they left the 10 blank in our cells. But our brains only have one hemisphere, which is connected to the hive mind, so they know what we're up to. Wars happened with many kinds of races, where the Nibiru, and we call it Nibiru, which is really meaning divided among us. There are good guys, there are bad guys, they're fighting against each other. So the Syrians, or we call the Nibiru, defeated Jehovah and kicked out Jehovah. And the Syrian scientists decided to add another part of our brain hemisphere from the mammalian side in order for us to have a chance to return back to our God thoughts, our God consciousness. So they implanted the second part of the brain, which is the mammalian, our spiritual brain. This is also in the process of, they also added a time release cell that when we as a human being starting to become a good person, starting to care for everybody, love somebody, able to forgive, and we're starting to return back to God's energy, this cell starting to wake up like a honing device and started to awaken us, and we become like a better person. We become a compassionate, loving, caring person. So we're starting to return. This is that cell that directs us, and it started to take, and it's starting to slowly fires the electricity to make us good. So the energy, the black energy that we have, starting to get infected with the light. So later on, it's starting to be more lights in our magnetic field. These two DNA, these two brain hemispheres, which some people that had awakened before, that didn't have the really deeper truth knowledge, they learn it from other ancient books also, which is some of them are also manipulated. So they are part truth, because the books were mixed with so many deceptions. So truth mixed with lies, very, very good deceptions. So they said that the reptilians created us, which is true. The human body that was rearranged by the reptilians to create the native design. They rearranged the DNA and made it the 2 DNAs. So when they arranged that, we can be controllable. And this brain connects to the hive minds. So they know what we're doing. So the moment we become God, like the moment we awaken and we're starting to become a good person, you wonder why so much chaos in your life. There are temptations, there are many things that's going on around you that makes you angry. I noticed that before when I started to awaken, when I was a teenager, that when I started to research deeper, I noticed that there are like negative things that's going on around me, so many problems, so many incidents going on. But when I decided to just forget it and be normal, like a zombie, like I don't care about anything, just do my work, or not paying attention with my spirituality or the other side or the dark side, then I'm okay. But when I started to notice my spirituality, what's going on this side, what's going on that side, and I started to question, then suddenly I have so many things happening, so many problems, things happening, like I'm prone to accidents, I get hurt easy, and I don't understand that. That is that is that is the sign that when you started to question the spirituality about God, about yourself, what's going on here, what creates the life, is there life for me out there? Why am I here? And when you started to question that, the dark forces will started to send their energy, dark forces, to 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 distract us, to scramble our thoughts. So this way we'll say, oh, forget it, I'm not going to pay attention with that because I have so many problems, so many things I have to take care of. So same thing with families, that in order to break away the love of the families, the dark forces will always break your family steer, make your kids belligerent, your wife having problems with the husband, and the husband starting to have an affair, and then the other woman will start to have an affair. So this is the forces of evils, of the dark forces that are trying to feed themselves and fatten them up. So this is the purpose of the ego. The ego will manipulate our thoughts and then make us think of anything that will make us angry, make us worry, make us fearful, because fear is the dark energy in ourselves. And everything, like, make your mind busy about any kinds of lust, sexual things, to really scramble you, and to, because sex is always used as a great weapons for this Illuminati to bring down the good guys, implant them with, give some temptations, beautiful women. Sex is always the best diversion for them, because it excites the person, makes them feel good and lusty. So this is why the entertainers always dress like sexy stuff, always almost naked or naked. So this is the work of the ego, manipulating us, trying to send this energy and feed the dark gods. And when the moment we have awakened and started to question everything, and we became good, and then the ego starting to be, we starve the ego, and the ego starting to fight back to survive. And this is how the chaos in our mind creates, and then the dark forces of energy that is always behind us, because as I said, we are connected to these hive minds, and the forces that we do not see, that they can send this energy right away. So this is the answer to many whistleblowers that expose the dark cabals, the evil governments that they are working. And when they call on the radio and expose the dark side of the Illuminatis, and suddenly this person got killed, by the attack of that energy, or the radio station lost contact with the other guy on the other side, because they know right away what we're doing. And they know every time I make videos, they try to attack me. So before I do that, I clear my surroundings. They always attack me before, a long time ago, when I exposed the Pope, George Cabal-Silas, they always attack me. Come on, all negative energies to leave my throat. Okay. Yeah, see, they're trying to attack my throat. Clear my surroundings. Okay, back to the ego. So the ego is our enemy, but it is also our savior, because this is how we survive in this top planet. But in truth, we are serving the dark gods. And since we have free will, they cannot control us if we wake up and return back to God. But when we awaken and half awaken, we do not really know the truth. So all kinds of bad thoughts, this ego trying to survive, as I guess, because it's being starved. And then there's chaos everywhere in you have many problems, everything's not going on, right, it is just too much. You're surrounded. But I know it is tough to deal this, very, very tough, because we have been their slaves, and we agreed we were microchipped long time ago from the previous planet Marduk, also known as Lucifer, and we are their minions. So we have to declare. I declare the contract that I had agreed a long time ago with the dark forces, void, null and void. I am free. I am a free spirit. You have to declare that. And also, pay attention to your thoughts. The moment that your thoughts wander around and take you somewhere, anything that's negative, detach yourself, stay away, and observe your thoughts, what it is trying to do. So detach yourself, observe it. If it's trying to make you feel lusty, if it's trying to put a gas in your little flame that makes it exploded to a bigger flame. For example, you are angry with someone or your friend, and then this ego, the thought, will use that scenario and will starting to manipulate your thoughts, like, oh, she thinks or he thinks that you're evil, he wants to beat you up, he wants to punch you, or anything that will make you angry. Or the ego will tell you, remember the last time or last year he did this to you, he did that to you, blah blah blah. And it's really constantly feeding you to make you angrier and angrier, so that this negative energies that's building up in your lower chakras starting to build up, and then they started sucking this energy, the system from the dark gods, they started siphoning this energy to feed them up. So any wars, any violent areas, they are creating those to feed them. Entertainment that has naked entertainers, anything that's will create a spark of your sexuality. It is the force of the dark forces. And if you're awakened and you started to channel, and if you are not grounded enough and sort this information that's being channeled to you, you can be manipulated, because you might have dialed the wrong number. You might have dialed the wrong astral, and then they will tell you, I am God, I am this, I am that. And they starting to manipulate you, show you some little power, and then you broadcast the channeling without filtering the information from your heart and listen to it over and over again. Is this message creates thoughts, create fears to my listeners? If it is, then it's do not post it, because you are feeding your dark gods. Now, if your message only send a message as an information to tell you, the listener, what is going on between this side and that side, so that you can observe, you can see what is the deception. And when you shine this light, because information is light. So when you know what's going on and it does not, the person that creates the video and did not send any message to make you excited, being lusty or angry or make you fearful, then that is a good message. Now, if the message of that person is very good information, and because if it's truth and mixed with energy of making you angry, so take the information, but do not engage and make yourself angry or aggravate, do not aggravate yourself. So take the good information, learn from it, and do some more research. But do not just listen to one person and become that and make that person as your savior or as your soul mentor. Because there are many have awakens and try to share their information, and if they started to send some information that could create fear, anger, then do not engage with that. Take the information. So the ego is the main culprit in our physical body, and this is the connection between us and the dark forces. Humanity was designed as an experiment for the greater purpose of self-exploration, self-gratification, and self-expression. We are all sparks of God. Doesn't matter if you are the dark forces or the light forces, because within that dark forces, even with the demons, they still have that spark of light from God's source. And each one of us here on this planet, we still have a spark of the dark force in our side, in our body. And this dark light, it's not light because dark, there's no light. So this dark spot in our body is called fear. This is the negative energy in our body. I love you all, brothers and sisters. I hope I said it clear and no one got lost.